Have you ever written an email that just didn't get the job done? Maybe you didn't get a response. It didn't come fast enough, or they just didn't answer your question. The 5 tips in this video are things I've learned the hard way. I hope they'll help your emails be more effective. Let's get into it. Number 1, don't bury the lead. The lead is the most important fact to be remembered or question to be asked. Get there fast, preferably in the first actual sentence. If you make someone hunt for the point of your email, they're going to be frustrated. Not to mention they might just give up and not read it. How many emails have you sent and thought, I told you what I needed in the 4th paragraph if you'd have just read the whole thing? Tip number 1, don't bury the lead. Tip number 2, use the subject line and stay on target. This might seem difficult if you have a habit of just saying hey as your subject line. The subject line is a tip to your readers about the general topic and gets them on the ballpark of what you're getting at. Try to avoid crossing the streams. With email threads, if you start asking for this week's sales reports under the subject line company picnic, you're more likely to get potato salad than production metrics. So tip number 2, write a useful subject line and stay on target. Tip number 3, make your thoughts bite-sized. Line breaks are your friend. If you send someone a giant block of text, I can guarantee one thing: they won't read all of it. If you write 12 sentences and you don't give your reader some idea of where the topic shifts to the next point, they're probably gonna get tired. Line breaks give a visual cue that the idea has progressed or the topic has completely changed. Also, not everything deserves full prose. Sometimes a bulleted list helps deliver your message more efficiently. Some distinct advantages of bulleted lists are that it saves you keystrokes and saves them brain cycles. It lets you dole out facts without seeming curt. And usually they're slide deck friendly for your boss. So tip number 3 is make your thoughts bite-sized. Tip number 4, use attachments sparingly. If you attach more than 3 files to an email, it's a fair bet that most people might feel a little overwhelmed. At a minimum, they'll put that on the not right now pile. The exception to this is when you're dropping what I call a knowledge bomb on someone. This is effective when you want to send the message that I am the authority on this topic and you will have to do a lot of reading. Similar to actual bombs though, I'd save this tactic as a last resort. So tip number 4, use attachments sparingly. Tip number 5, ask a closing question or make a closing statement. If you haven't already, ask for what you want in the email. If possible, call the person out by name. If you're not asking for something, at least tell them what action you're taking. In my experience, people are most likely to remember the first part and the last part of the message. Everything in the middle will be less sticky. This is most effective when you can reframe the lead. So if you started with the most important part and you can rephrase the most important part at the beginning and the end of the email, that should help. So tip number 5 is ask a closing question or make a declarative statement. I hope you get a ton of value out of these 5 email tips. If you think I missed any or have anything new, let me know in the comments. Talk to you next time. Thanks.